Hey everyone, this is Hayata. For those of you who don't know me, I am a landscape photographer, and I'm actually a part-time landscape photographer. I do have a full-time day job, and I normally don't mention that because I'm mostly about photography in my social media, but it kind of comes up a little bit in this video, so that's why I mentioned it. So a little bit of an intro. When I moved to the East Coast, I set up my photography stuff in my bedroom, but my work stuff was actually in the basement, and that worked great for a while. But then the weather dropped, or the temperature dropped, and it was like 8 degrees Fahrenheit this morning, and that's just not cutting it in the basement. The basement has actually heat, and I even have another space heater in there, but boy, it is still cold down there. So I decided to bring it all upstairs into my bedroom. So I want to show you this combined setup. So here is what the setup looks like. Before I get into the details, I wanted to show you guys that it all does fit in like a 5-foot by 6-foot area. Now it is roomier than it looks, but it is still kind of tight. I guess it's in that middle ground. So we'll see how this goes for a few months, and to see if any changes need to be made. Maybe make it a little more spacious, or do something to make it a bit more comfortable. So now, let's see, I think I'll go through this in like 3 steps. So the first thing I'll do is I'll cover the tech that you can actually see from the front. And then I think I'll talk about the like the furniture and the like the wall treatment and such. Second, and then to finish up, we'll look at the behind all this gear and how it's all put together back there. So that's the plan. So let me get started here. So let me actually start from the right. And you can see here, that is my fairly brand new 14-inch MacBook Pro. I just got that. Normally I buy used gear, but with this M1 processor upgrade that Apple has, there's really no choice but to get a brand new one. So it's quite expensive. Now behind here, you see this. That is a CalDigit Thunderbolt hub, and I'll try to get as close as I can to it. This has been great. It actually allows me to plug in just one thing here, one plug here, right to the MacBook. Then it connects everything else. Right? So I think that's what the Apple was going for originally, right? When they took away all the ports. Right? But now that they gave those ports back, now I only need one port. Well, that's great for the desktop. When you're actually on the road, I do need 1 or 2 or 3 ports. So, and speaking of the road, what comes with me whenever I go, right, is the MacBook, right, and this one solid-state drive. Now I actually have 2 other solid-state drives and a backup drive, which is a disk drive. So you can see the backup drive. That's the big white thing from there, from Seagate. Right? So, but I was saying, right, this SSD drive has all my photography on it. It also has all my personal and business work on it, right? And that's all I really need. The other 2 SSD drives, they're actually for all the videos, because videos take up quite a bit more space, right? So, but I don't bring that along with me. If I need to do a video while I'm out of the house, the onboard SSDs is enough for the type of video I do. Right? So now, speaking of the road, the laptop and the SSD drive go into this bag. And this bag is from 511 Tactical. Right? Now, this is a great bag. 511 Tactical. They make clothing and gear for police officers and firefighters and people like that. So it's so they make really strong, durable stuff. Things that fit well and are pretty well thought out. And this bag is great. I like it. It's rigid, right? So other laptop bags I've had tend to flop around and get a little hard to load. It's pretty much rigid. Then it does have the webbing that you see on a lot of equipment these days. If you want to attach more things to it. Now, I don't have a lot of stuff to attach, right? But it's available there. Over here, you can actually Velcro stuff to it. The lid here, right? Oh, there's also Velcro, and then it's got the clips here to, I think, make it more secure if you need that. Now, the only thing that I had problems with was the strap. Right? This is a replacement strap. The original strap was too short for me. Right? So I bought a replacement strap, and then I had to use a carabiner to connect it here. Now for the original strap, it was easy enough to remove. It was actually a clip, so I was able to remove it. But when I tried to find a replacement, like a D-ring, right, this webbing, not the webbing, but the place where it connects was just a little too wide. So I improvised and took a carabiner, right, and I clipped it to that. And I think that works fine. So, yep. So I'm real happy with that. All right, so on to the next set of gear. I'm going to sit down. All right, so this monitor is the BenQ 2700 monitor. It's a great monitor also. You see a lot of photographers on YouTube and stuff using BenQ equipment these days. Right? And oh, interesting, you can actually see me reflected there. Let's see, what happens if I... Yeah, you can still see me. But yeah, it's a 27-inch. Works great. You know, I color calibrated, and it's pretty high resolution. It's actually my second one. I actually had plugged something into my first one, and it blew out the monitor. I felt like a spark or something, and then it fried the monitor. So I liked it enough to get a second one. And it's nice. A little expensive, but it's pretty nice. And then here is the a big 32-inch Acer. Right, so this is what I was using in the basement. I've not tried editing any photos with it. I did color calibrate it, but I haven't tried editing anything on it. The resolution isn't that great, because I can actually see the pixels and lettering and stuff. So yeah, it's probably not that great for things that require a high quality image. I mean, it works great for your normal stuff, email, spreadsheets, you know, using software, all that kind of stuff. You'd hardly notice, but when you're editing photos and stuff and doing videos, you kind of that kind of stuff will throw you off a little bit. All right. So now, let's see, onto what's on my sort of the surface here. All right. Oh, so I wanted to mention, right? So now you see that I actually have three kind of input devices. So I actually have two mice and one touchpad, right? And then I have this keyboard, which I just got, right? And the reason I have those two mice, right, is because I have a separate laptop for my work, right? But you don't see that on the desktop. It's actually behind the cabinet. I'll show you guys that later, right? But one mouse goes to the MacBook, or one Mac goes to my HP laptop, right? And then this keyboard is really nice because see those white buttons there? Right? That allows me to switch between computers. Right, so one is my MacBook and two is my HP. And yeah, you know, that made things a lot simpler. Now this only handles the keyboard part, right? For switching the monitors back and forth between computers, I actually just use the onboard buttons, which are down here, right? and I can pretty easily switch the inputs on those. Oh, and then this touchpad, that's the Apple touchpad. Now I use that for my video editing. Most of the stuff I do actually using the mouse, right? But then swiping the timeline, that gets a little tedious with using a mouse, right? So I actually then reach over here and I can like pinch and zoom and stuff like that and slide back and forth using that. That's really convenient. And then one more thing kind of about these input devices. I really like this mouse, right? It doesn't look like a regular mouse, and this is from Logitech. I forget the model number, and I'll stick that in the description if you're really interested. But what's nice is I can actually hold my hand a little more vertical than a regular mouse, which is really like this. You're kind of pronating, and that can cause repetitive stress injuries. Right? And I have a little of that. So once I switch to this, it's helped a lot. And it's a little awkward to use, and it's a little bulkier, and it's actually not as sensitive as you can be with like a regular mouse. But it works great, and I can do my photo editing and video editing and stuff with this mouse. All right, so real pleased with that. Okay, then what else can I talk about here? Oh, this little thing. This is actually a toolkit for opening up computers. When we used to buy desktops, I haven't bought a desktop in ages, but I use that as my wrist rest. It's the perfect height for me. I must have had this for like 25 years. So that's pretty cool. And then the Altoids, that's just a container that's got some little things in it. All right, and then let's see. Oh, one last thing before I get to the furniture and stuff. Yeah, that's this thing here. That is a blood pressure monitor, right? So that's kind of crucial these days for me anyway. So, okay, so that's kind of the tech that you can see. So now let me talk about the furniture, right? So now this desk, right? So I got this at an antique store, right? Now, I go to antique stores not to get antiques, but to get used furniture. And they usually have some really nice stuff, right? And I got this one at a antique store in Roseville, California, when I was living in California. Yeah, and I love this desk. I like the size of it. It's really bulky. It's got that bulk or heft to it. It's got, I don't know if you can really see through it, but it's got the leather top. It's in pretty good shape. It's gotten a lot of dings and stuff from me, from moving around and stuff. But it's built like a tank. I don't think I could ever give up this desk. Now this little tray here, I believe this is meant to be, I think they call it a laptop desk. And I'll find a link for Amazon, right, and put it in the description in case you guys want to take a look at it. Because it's on casters, right? I don't know if you can really see that, and it moves around. And it's got an adjustable height on it, right? And it's a good height for me, right? I can set it up actually, so I can set it up to be a good height for my posture and stuff, right? Now, and that kind of brings up just a kind of a side note, right? So this desk, right? It was meant for someone to sit down and actually write stuff on, right? So it is higher up the surface, right? Because you actually need to write on it, right? So that's why getting this helped me get the actual keyboard surface lower, right? To do the computer work these days, right? So I think that's a really cool compromise for me. It gives me, I don't have to get some boring computer desk, from Best Buy or whatever, right? Or Staples or wherever, right? And I can have a really nice desk, but then I can still try to be at least somewhat safe, right? Ergonomically by using this thing here. And it's cool. I like it a lot. So this desk here, which I just got, and let me swing around here, you can kind of see it is like like a bookshelf or a half-height bookshelf type of thing, right? So I got that at Target for a couple $100. It's nice enough, but it's particle board and with a fake finish on it. It looks nice enough. But actually, one thing I did want to say was that for I spent like a couple $100 for this thing here, right? Back to my regular desk here, right? I spent like $350 to $50 for that. So so for and that's why I go to antique stores for my furniture, right? 'Cause I can get some really nice stuff for not that much, right? So I mean, think about it, right? This cheap thing here was $200, so-called cheap, right? For $150 more, I can get a really nice a piece of furniture, right? That's gonna last forever, right? So from here, let me talk a little bit more about the background. Oh, sorry, almost forgot. My new purchase here. This is an Elgato ring light. So for video conference calls, right? I needed lighting up front. Now there is a ceiling light which you can't see in the shot, right? But it created a backlighting situation, so you really couldn't see me, right? Because the light was behind me, right? So I needed a light in front of me. Right? Now there is that window there, but it actually faces a brick wall from the next house, so I don't get a whole lot of light out of there. So I got this Elgato light, and it's really neat. You can adjust the color temperature, right? So I actually turned it really warm, and then it's also intensity is adjustable, right? So you can control the amount of light, and all that you can do via an iPhone app, right? So that's pretty cool, right? Yeah. Oh, sorry, the ring light does not come with that thing in the middle there. That's actually just a LED light that I had for ages. Just stuck it on there for a little extra light. So, yep. So now let's swing around here to the right wall, the wall treatment here. This is here for two reasons. One is right for sound deadening. So every blank space is going to cause an echo, right? So if you really want to break up the blank space, and these are these octagonal sound absorption boards. Plus, they got the edges on them, right? And that scatters the acoustic waves. Right? See, and the second reason is that when I'm doing a video call, oh, sorry, I didn't mention my webcam, right? Another Logitech webcam. This wall is in view, but a plain white wall looked really boring. But I didn't want to stick like a piece of art there or anything like that, because now they'll get really distracting, right? So I think this is a good compromise. Yeah, so, okay, and then speaking more about video, I'm gonna pan around to what you would see in the background, right? And sorry, can I get wide enough here for you to see, right, everything? Again, sorry, you see the door there on the left? So you see it's got the fake panel imprinted on there, and that helps with the sound as well. And then here, I put these things here because these are also in the background, and just having a blank white wall, wasn't going to be very, I don't know, nice looking, right? Now let me talk about what I got here. So this doll was a gift that my mother got from her parents when I was born. So this is as old as I am, right? Unfortunately, my little samurai here, his sword got broken in transit over here to get to New Jersey. So, but oh well, right? Let's see, and then up here, I've got these seed buckets or something like that. I believe that's like a Native American thing where they store seeds in there. Right? And I picked those up at the various national parks I go to. They usually have them on sale. Right? And I really like the kind of the Native American style or theme on them, right? And then this piece of beadwork I also really like. This I got in, I think in Amargosa Valley, which is outside of Death Valley, and there was a little museum there, and this was on sale. I really like it. The person's name, the artist's name is actually on here. Carla Perkins, 2015. And then, oops, let me see if I can do this without breaking it, right? And then there's also a label here. I tried to look that up, but I couldn't find anything. But, yeah. But yeah, the moment I saw it, I had to have it. And it wasn't that expensive, it was like $100. And the little title here says Red Rock. So I'm guessing that's in reference to the Red Rock Mountains, or I guess the Red Rock Mountain range, right? I guess. You know, it is just outside of Las Vegas, so it's really close to the Amargosa Valley. I think this is kind of a takeoff on that. And you can kind of see the mountains with the red mountains and stuff, and I think the green things are meant to be trees, etc. Right? And I thought it was really cool. Okay. Now this piece of artwork, right? This I also got in an antique store, and this was actually pretty expensive considering the small piece of art. I believe I paid like $350 for it. And you know, and you might be asking, so why don't I have my own photography up here, right? And the reason has to do with the video calls and stuff, right? So when I'm on a video call, in the background, you can see this completely, right? But if I had a piece of photography, it'd be much larger, and it would get cut off. So I chose this one in kind of this panoramic view of these mountains and stuff, right? I don't have a panorama to put up here, so I put this up here. And the other thing I want to say about this is it's kind of important to me for my photography because this is the kind of thing I'm trying to take a photograph of, right? So I'm not trying to paint it, right? Myself, I want a photograph of it, and if you notice, right, it's got a lot of stuff going on. It's not a simple painting, right? It's got the mountains here, got this little island to the left, got the lake, got this other landmass here with the trees, a lot going on, right? And if you notice in my photography, there's a lot going on in those my photos also. Now there's this thinking, I guess, in a lot of the photography community that, oh, everything has to be simple, right? You gotta simplify everything. You know, what you really want is just a tree in a field of snow, and that'll be the perfect photograph or something like that, right? So, and I agree, right? Those look nice and they're dramatic and everything, but for me, what I want is a picture of a pretty scene, right, with lots of stuff going on. So, if you take a close look at my photography, right, you'll see that there's a lot going on, right? And hopefully it's not going on so much that it's distracting. I think part of it's trying to get that balance, right? So that's about that painting, kind of why that's important to me. Now, finally, on the back here, there's this table. Right? So again, I got this at an antique store. Right? I needed something to put back here to put the figurine on, and I actually found this really neat. It's actually a drop leaf, and it actually comes up, and it's a circle, right? But yeah, I thought it was really cute, and it really fit the space. It covers the. I can put the figurine and the case on top of it, just perfect size for it. So that worked out really well. And it wasn't that expensive. It was like $90. Right? So $90 at a Target will get you a piece of particle board table, right? I got this really nice one, right, for $90. So at an antique store. So yeah, so keep pushing those. I keep pushing the antique store thing, right? So okay, so now we can finish up by looking at the back of this stuff here. Okay. So back here is the setup, and we'll work from front to back, I think. Okay, so oh, the strip, right? So that's from a Home Depot, right? Well, that's another reason why I got a Target desk, right? Because I wanted to screw this stuff in to it, and I didn't really want to take a nice piece of furniture and start drilling holes into it and stuff. So that's another reason I don't mind so much the Target stuff. And everything's plugged into it. Got a couple of chargers here. Now the thing that's holding the monitors together, right, or monitors up, is this monitor arm. It's a twin, right? It's got two arms, right? It is by a company called I think Huano or something like that. Right? Yeah, it's been great. It's solid. It's pretty heavy duty. Again, this is actually the second pair, I guess, that I bought. I had to throw away the other ones when I moved because I couldn't just fit it in my car. So I had to sacrifice that and then buy it again for this little setup. But yeah, it's a great pair of monitor arms. Now, this second arm, though, is not holding up a monitor, as you can see. It is holding up the Elgato ring light, right? So, and actually, that ring light is still too high. It casts down on my face, so at certain angles, right, you get a shadow, and you don't see the bottom of my face looks quite a bit darker than the top. So I actually do have a different type of clamp coming, right, where there'll be a little short clamp. I can put the ring light on there, and then I can raise the arm just to get the height just right. So, okay, and then let's see here. Over here, I have some books, mostly photography-related books. Right? I really like the one from Ben Horn. This one here, Between the Wind. Yeah, he takes some really great photos. He takes here's a large format photography. So he'll take some landscape shots, of trees and rocks and stuff like that. But then he also points his camera at the ground and takes some abstract stuff with leaves and things like that. And yeah, I really enjoy his work. So let's see. Oh, I meant to mention, here's my work computer. That's the HP there. I just tuck it into into one of the slots there. Right. Okay, and then I'll finish up by showing you the guys further back here. Right now, can't really reach over, right, myself, but the thing you see in the immediate foreground here, so that's my Color Monkey color calibrator. I like it because I can calibrate my monitors and my printer with one device. So that's been really useful. Right? And then you can kind of see further back here, right, all the spiderweb cables. But then I've got that power strip. Yeah, I found that online too in Amazon. Right? And yeah, it's vertical, right? So it doesn't take up much flat space. Right? So that's been really useful also, kind of a space saver. Right, and then yeah, everything else you saw at the beginning of the video, because that's where the MacBook is, etc. Right, so that is my setup. I have not used it yet. I just finished setting it up yesterday. Now, I had a similar setup when I was in Folsom in California, and it worked out really well there, so I expect this to work pretty well. I will put links in the description of everything I can think of for anybody who's curious. And yeah, so that is my setup, and I hope you enjoyed the tour.